Well, I'm not sure if my voice is being picked up yet. Well, 1 second. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out how the audio is coming along. Well, all right. How are we sounding? Can you hear me at least? I have not actually set up all the way. I wasn't intending on sharing this at all, but to be frank, I don't think I'm going to be doing a video on it either. So I thought I would just share, uh, well, the assembly, or at least the assembly that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to work on this upper portion. Now, I'm not sure that I'm going to hot glue yet, but I am getting my hot glue gun ready because, well, I'm going to need it. And I got to turn that fan off. It's going to bother me. I've got a fan in front of me keeping me cool, so that's plenty. Now, what I might do, what I'm thinking, and this is going to be the tricky part. These holes are actually bigger than the LEDs, and I did that. I'm hoping so that it'll stay. I'm going to start off by testing, which is something I have not done yet. I put all these LEDs together and I have not tested any of them to see if they work. So I'm going to do that really quickly. See if we can get some headers that are situated. How about that? Is that good? That work? Maybe not. I need some better connections, I believe. Anyway, I've had a emotional month, really, and so I've been throwing myself at these projects, trying to get them, satisfactory. I'm not really in a hurry to get them done. This one is for a friend, for Mouse, who makes the little supercomputers. But I mean, even if I got it finished already and sent it already, it would not make it across the world in time. So all I can do is try to do the best I can. Oh, maybe I need to cut these legs a little bit further. Just gonna trim these down. I didn't trim the legs even, mainly because I was knocking these out like crazy. But in hindsight, I should have went ahead and cut the legs while I was awake. And all I'm doing here is I'm going to put a bunch of them in and kind of gauge them all for brightness and consistency. I'm sure they're not all perfect. You know, they're bulk order, so I'm expecting there to be like, say, a third of them that don't work. Not exactly sure why I can't see my video on my stream screen, but I know it's working, so uh, I would say hopefully it'll pop up soon so I can see, because when I can see, I'll be able to keep things in frame. Like right now, I'm just cutting the legs off and sticking them in here. I didn't want to feel like I was by myself, so I figured I'd jump on live if anybody happens to join, you know, give them something to watch, and I'll know that if something happens interesting, it'll be caught on camera and I can go back and edit it out and save that as a video, maybe. You know, that's usually a good way to do it if you're not feeling up to making a full-fledged video, because I'm really not. I mean, I've spent the better part of the last like 4 weeks nonstop running and running and going and going, and I need a break. You know, I've been struggling to find work because, you know, people don't really want to hire you when you're considered disabled. So rather than complain about it and get too upset about it, I've been just trying to make my YouTube channel grow a little bit, because I really do enjoy DIY. I enjoy doing things and learning things myself. Like sooner or later, I want to. I've spent 3 hours learning a program called KiCad or KiCad or however you pronounce it. And so far, I have made one prototype board on there. I haven't done anything with it. It's just on the computer. What I want to do is etch my own PCB. And I've got just about everything I need. I'm missing the iron, the clothes iron, to do the heat transfer, toner transfer. And I'm sure there's other ways to do it without an iron, but I would really like it if my iron went ahead and got here. It's a steamless iron, so it's just a solid plate of metal. And I figured that would maybe help eliminate any bubbles, because whenever you put plastic film over a flat surface, you know, a lot of times you end up with a little bubble. Figured that would help. We shall see. In the meanwhile, I've really just wanted to test out these LEDs, see how they were doing, make sure I've got at least enough that I can start this project, start assembly. There's somewhere between 470 and 500 LEDs in this project. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and count. And That would take a long time. I know that I have made up 400 LEDs. I've made 200 of these slow fade RGB LEDs, and I have made 200 of the blinking white LEDs. I didn't make the LED rather, but I soldered the resistor on them so that they would be, or cut the lead off on the positive side, added a resistor to it, tossed it in my little bin over here. The reason for that is I put a 1 kiloohm resistor on each LED for the purpose of keeping the LEDs at a low brightness so they're not just obnoxious, and second, to limit the current and power consumption. Just trying to generally make it last a little longer. And I don't want to drive these LEDs very hard either. So there was that as a consideration as well. I'm considering streaming for maybe about an hour, maybe 2. I'm not really trying to stream a long time, but I did want to record some of this process some way, somehow. I figured why not just record it via a live stream, and I will chat my head off to an empty room. Not crazy at all, right? And that way I feel like there's some company. Maybe you'll find this building process interesting when I get started, because that is something that this is going to cover as well. It just takes time to cut some LEDs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this full of the RGB ones first on this left side, right? And then power it up. I've got to switch the jumper over like this, but I'm going to put it down here. Anyway, once I power it up, I'll be able to tell which LEDs work, which ones don't, which ones are too dim, and I can just pick those out and do the same thing for the white ones. As far as to securing them inside of this globe, which I don't know if I've shown the globe yet, but there's nobody watching at the moment, so there's no point in me getting it out. But if the stream starts picking up people, I'll pull the globe out and we'll take a look at it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on assembling these lids. Yeah. I'm going to do one more. Leave me a little bit of a gap. My power supply can handle it, but I don't want to get them so clustered that I can't clip my leads on. End up shorting my leads out. I was going to try to use my good microphone so it would maybe cut out some of the background noise, but I was too tired to get it to work. So to be honest with you, you're just listening to my camera's microphone, which may not sound ideal, but it is. We're working with what we got. Let's see what we got for. I don't know if this is going to show up with my overhead lights on. I got a lot of light on in here, and I still can't even see my own footage. Let's see what kind of juice we got. 3.2 volts. Wow, look, they all are decent, and they're all green. Look at that. We're going to watch that for just a second. Let's see what that looks like. So they're all changing together, and they're slightly offset. I see a few of them changing sooner, like these ones are changing. Oh, now they're starting to lag a little bit. That's good. We want that. We want these to change. In fact, would you believe that this is only pulling 36 milliamps for all of these together. That is so pleasing. I don't know if you can see that. Let me put some white paper over the top. I've got. There. That's probably a little more visible on camera, maybe. So they're changing from red to green. Oh, there's some blue. I see some blue sneaking in there. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm sorry, I'm just mesmerized by it. So now we know that of these LEDs, they're all working. Yeah. I lean down over them. They are all lit. That is so colorful. I like that. So we'll turn that power off. And now let's move over to this rail and this rail, and we'll do the same for the white LEDs. Again, I'm doing this because there's nobody watching. This is an unknown now. Let me fix this real quick. Whenever LED, these look exactly the same. So now I've got to figure out what that one is. That is an RGB. All right, so we shall stick this. Did it escape? We'll just put it right here. Now we can work on the white LEDs. And again, the reason I'm taking my time with it and I'm not in any particular hurry, I really want to enjoy this project. I don't want to hate it. Sometimes if I put a demand on myself to complete a project in a hurry, such as that oscilloscope that never got built, it triggers my demand avoidance, and I really feel bad about it. But it's like at the same time, I can't do anything about it, so I can only feel so much guilt before I've got to say, okay, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And you know that it helps to look at it that way. It does, but at the same time, I still want to finish that project. It's still going to get done eventually. It might even get done, sooner than later. I don't know. But I want to knock out some of these other bigger projects off my list, especially this one, because this has already got 60 hours invested, and I have, quite frankly, wondered if I was even going to be able to finish this project. But I'm thinking it's going okay. I've got it mostly done. I've been working diligently on getting the components together, the body printed. I made the design completely modular so that it can be repaired if something were to go wrong, if these LEDs, one of them were to burn out, something like that. It's completely repairable. The batteries are serviceable. The plug that I'm going to be using is a USB, so that it can be powered off of USB if you need to, but it will have a battery pack inside. In fact, this is that battery pack here. So I'm pleased with how it's coming along. I'm very proud of how it looks. I think it looks really cool. It probably looks cooler in person than on camera because I'm not the greatest camera, or videographer, I guess would be the term. So I apologize for that. Whenever I finish the project, there will be a video on it. I assure you of that. Because I want this, I really want to have a record of this so that I can say, look at that. How's that? That looks cool, right? I'm excited. Does it show? I'm worn out. Okay, I'm not down. I'm very tired. My voice changes based on my energy level, not so much my emotion. Thankfully, if I start to feel negative, it sounds more like quiet. Like I don't talk at all. So yeah, I usually try to maintain some steady conversation with people, especially when I'm feeling down, but I see that I'm able to, lift it up. I go, okay, well, I'm going to keep talking about positive things, and positive things will be, or that's that's the hope. So I'd give it the best effort. And then in regards to this project, I've been giving it steady effort rather than excessive effort because I've done that before. And then you get burnt out, and then you don't want to do any projects later, and then you end up not posting videos about projects for months on end. Sound familiar? If it doesn't sound familiar, then you're probably not a content creator, and that's okay. But I'm sure if you are a watcher and you notice your favorite YouTubers haven't posted in a while, there's a really good reason for that. Chances are they're either burnt out for a minute, they need a break, they're, family stuff, real life, all kinds of things. In my case, it's been a lot of real life family stuff that's kept me from posting as often as I would like. But at the same time, I had also been dealing with PTSD heavily. Now it's not as bad. It's more like, oh, I see you. Welcome back. Not really. Please go away. So uh, those moments are usually whenever I focus extra hard on not sitting still. Because if I sit still, I find that it doesn't get any better, and that's kind of unfortunate. But if I keep myself busy, keep doing something, you know, I find that it's easier to ease past. It's like a balm for depression, is maintaining a steady but manageable pace. You know, if you start overwhelming yourself trying to do something, then it's counterproductive. And it would seem counterintuitive to work slow and deliberate, but you're going to get more done in the long run than if you were to shoot off like a firecracker and get a lot of progress done, and then you burn out, but then you never finish. It's better to go a little bit slower and finish the job than to go full speed ahead and burn out and not finish a project. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be having fun building stuff, and it's hard to do that if you put this, I got to finish the race in a hurry. There's, oh my God, if I don't finish it now, that kind of a mindset ends up making things stressful on yourself. I know it does for me when that happens. I haven't been doing that so much lately because I've had all of these things to keep me busy. I've been discovering the joys of Discord and some of the pitfalls of Discord. I'm over here enjoying the break from the upbeat speed of the last week. So I've been taking today to go nice and slow, nice and steady. I'm hoping there will be some progress on some of my shipping items. I'm waiting on, like I said before, that clothes iron to get here. Without that clothes iron, there will not be any way for me to transfer this toner effectively, and that's unfortunate. So But it is here in Jackson. It's here local. And so, maybe it won't take but another day to get here. Maybe we can start on building something. I have only a few hours experience in KiCad, but I got to thinking maybe I could do like a screen capture and share learning that with everybody. Because I thought it was kind of intuitive, but at the same time, I was so overwhelmed when I first turned that program on that one of my friends, Lambda, in Discord, had to help me kind of like step through it a little bit. And after, I guess, about an hour or so, I got to the end. They're like, all right, you did it. And I was like, all right, what now? And I'm in my head like, I know what now. I need to keep on going so I don't forget. So I did that for several more hours. What do we got here? Uh-oh, we got one not blinking. We have this one. This one is not blinking. Why are you not blinking? All right, look at that. We got one falsy. Blinky, 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 blinky. Boy, look at that. It's already got its own little pattern going. Look at that. That's so fascinating. If you turn it off and back on, yeah, I like that. That's satisfactory. All right, so now we know we got us a bunch of working white and RGB LEDs. Now here's going to be the thing. We want them to go inside of this middle, and I made a jig for this just specifically so that the resistor would pop in just like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these dot lines that goes all the way down, like not that one, but this one here, because this one comes in between two of them and starts kind of getting offset. So in this straight line, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put it, just pop that right in. And that one is a press fit. How about that? And so I want to double check that is in line. It's a little rotated. Let's try it that way. The reason for the jig is so I don't accidentally break the LED pressing on it, because they're small 3mm LEDs and they're easy to break. All right, so that's the RGB. Now, the next ring below that will be a white flasher. Pop that in like so. Bada bing. And we're going to keep going down in an alternating row. We'll go RGB next. And if they start getting like flimsy and not wanting to stick in place, that's when I'm going to have to heat up the hot glue, and I may have to end the stream unless somebody just really wants to sit there and wait on me to heat up the hot glue. In fact, I would do it. I would heat up the hot glue in advance, but it'll also leak glue when it's on, and I'd rather not waste materials. So it's a white. On and on we go. Now this is, again, I've got to do this 5 100 times, just to give you a perspective on why I'm not going to stream all of it. Yeah, that one's going to need glue. All right, we've hit glue. So let me set this down for a moment. I did not want to glue, but I'm using hot glue in such a way that it shouldn't hurt it any, because I'm literally just going to let it drizzle on some paper. And it's going to take a while to get hot, but you know, just in case you wanted to see what this project's going to look like, it will have LEDs all the way around. And I'm super excited to finish this project, because this is the home stretch, is putting all of the LEDs in, and then of course assembling the base, which will go on like that. Oops, I just dropped one. No bueno. Yeah, it's gonna have to be glued. Let's see what LED that was. It just fell out. That might have been a RGB. Yep, that's a RGB. So something I've just now noticed, all of the white flashers have a very obvious yellow backing behind the lead, the anode and the cathode, whereas the RGB is completely clear. So that's rather fascinating. And I realize that I've been off center this whole time. I only just now noticed that. I do apologize in case you did not see the flashy bits. I will do it like this so you can. There you go. And the other side, all I did for the other side was put it like this, and they're fading like that. Now, for right now, this stream has gone on for 37 minutes. Oh no, I need my glasses. That says 32 minutes. Is this hot glue? If the hot glue gun is already hot, then maybe we can go on and keep doing this. So I got to find out. I did, the pattern is RGB white, RGB white. And you can tell that when you look down in it, because there's 2 yellow dots and 2 white dots. So the next one is going to be an RGB. And the reason I just turned it on and I'm not actually using it is because I'm going to grab a dab like that and stick that in like that. Cool. That's going to work. And that's minimal glue, very minimal glue that way. So next to be a white. And I can clean this up too once I'm through. I'm not trying to make it absolutely perfect on the very first install. I'm trying to get these LEDs in place in the right order and, you know, mounted inside so that I know when it's time to solder everything, because that's the big thing. Whenever I go to solder, everything needs to have the lines correct. So the next is an RGB. I'm gonna grab a little dab of hot, and when I say a little dab, I'm literally letting it just ooze out of the hot glue gun, and I'm dabbing it using this and then picking off the hot glue, because it dries really quick. And on this side, it's not leaving any hot glue on the lens. Just leaving little wispies, but you know, we can fix that. We'll grab us a white one, put this in, grab us a little dab of hot glue off the side. Actually, I did have to squeeze it that time. And it's a little bit messy, but you know what? I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Are you? Sure am. How about you? Hey, hey, hey. I know I'm lame. Apparently, people hate me. I didn't know that. It'd be like that. So now you guys have seen one row, and from there, and this is where it gets a little tricky, there's another line here, okay? But on this side, it has to be an RGB because the middle one's an RGB, and that next one is a white. And we want it to alternate around this way as well as this way. So it's going to be a little tricky to do that unless we follow the line. So we can do RGB white, RGB white, RGB white, RGB white. You follow me? And then we'll fill in, there's another line here and then two smaller lines here. I don't know if you can really make those out, but there's this line and this line go all the way to the ring. There's a line that starts here and goes all the way down, and then two more lines that start and go down here. And so that's the pattern that I made inside of CAD, and so far I'm digging on it. So the next one's going to be this ring with an RGB. So we'll turn that around and grab us an RGB. Leads are a little crooked, that's all right. Stick that in, grab us a little dab of hot glue. Little dab, not that much, Lord, child, shit. And we shall follow right there. Wispies, wispies, wispies. So that follows this line. Next will be a white. RGB and then a white. So far, so good. So far, so good. Don't mind it at all. So far, so good. A little dab. I'm telling you, like, this is one of those times where I really want music playing, but I can't play music due to copyright. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna steal their music by playing it online. Oh no. What are they gonna do? Hate on me, I guess. I don't know. Join the club. I'm digging on this method, yo. This is great. Oh man, little planning ahead. I was in my head like, I do not want to stick this many LEDs by hand. There's got to be an easier method. And I'm like, oh well, what do you do whenever you've got a shitload of one thing to do? Oh, you make a jig. So the next one's gonna be a wet. But one thing I will say about this project that I slightly regret, and that's making this sphere upside down and then upwards. Like I should have printed one of them upside down and the other one upwards. That way the pattern of the coloration would kind of, you know, blend together. Instead of following like that, it would have followed. But it's not a problem. It looks fine. I mean, I like it. I'm not like, I don't have any regrets on the color. So, but I am actually really curious about how it's going to look when I get finished putting all of these LEDs in place. Oh, shit. I almost messed that one up. And again, I'm only going to put in the big rows and then I'm going to solder those together, give them a test, make sure I didn't mess any of them up, because there is so many of them that it's better to take the time to do it right the first time than to have to go back and redo it, all of it. Like instead of having to redo all of it. So that is exactly why I'm taking the extra time to do this bit first, and then I'll go back and do the middle lanes. And by soldering them in lanes like this, it'll make the job that much easier. It's already pretty tight. It's not so tight that I can't do this, but I'm having to work in lanes. The next lane's going to be here. So we flip that over and we know that's going to be a white next. So this, if this one will press fit, it does. So we now have the wet in place. The next will be RGB. I've gotten the hang of it looking at them. I think I have a pretty good idea of which ones are going to need the hot glue now and which ones are going to be okay. So that is fine. That is why I have a hot glue gun on deck and why we have a backup stick of glue. I have no issues with that. But I am having to reference the front, if you haven't noticed, because I keep forgetting where I'm at. But I'm also very, very particular. I don't want to screw it up. I really don't. That's all I'm thinking in my head. Please get all these LEDs in their rightful place the first time. You would not want to drop this in your face. I was like, stick your hand in it or anything like that. It just sounds fascinating. So put this so wet. Oh no, come back out, please, quick. There we go. That one I messed up. My apologies. I so messed that up. I so messed that up. That's great. It didn't mess it up on the outside. All right. I so messed that up. That was funny. I mean, it was funny to me. I don't know if you guys laughed. I thought it was funny. So I'm so close, so close. Boop. Let's see. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. That's perfect. And that's because there's 36 holes. And so 8 and 8, 16. 2 18s is 36. right? Bam, 3 rows in. And we have about 15 minutes left on the stream before I close her down. I'm not going to allow myself to overwork. I have stressed about that at the beginning of the video, and I'd like to reiterate that now, that as soon as I do reach the official stopping point, I will be turning the stream off. So this is your 15-minute courtesy. Now, if you're a late joiner and you're only just now catching what's going on, I'm in the middle of gluing LEDs into SuperSphere. If you have been watching this whole time, I appreciate you. I do appreciate you so much. So the next one is going to be RGB. Be easier if they were like an even count, wouldn't it? I didn't do that. I should have. Hindsight. And I keep sticking these upside down. Why? Why do I do that? See, look, this is why I limited to 1 hour, because I've been working almost an hour on this project, and now I'm starting to kind of make mistakes often rather than a mistake here and a mistake there. So it is exactly what it is. And I did it again. There, okay. It forgave me. Pick the little hairs off so it's not so hard later. You'll have to forgive me. I did not think I was going to wear out so easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a black for the negative, because that's the side that's the negative, is the one without the resistor. And we shall continue with a weight. So with our newly armed negative, we can now look at that, stick it in correctly. This will save tired Dave. Damn it, Dave. Everybody's dead. Who's that? Somebody said in the Discord. Everybody's dead, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to bring Armageddon. I watched Wreck-It Ralph and Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Wrecks the Internet last night, and I didn't know that I needed to be emotionally traumatized by a movie, but you know what? I enjoyed those 2 movies. They were pretty decent. But I am very much like, oh, all my feels, man. Damn. That was a lot. That was quite a bit. It was a good set of movies, though. I did not know that was Sarah Silverman's voice, though, at first. It took me probably 3/4 of the first movie to be like, I reckon, is that Sarah? Is that Sarah Silverman I hear? Yes, it is. So that was fascinating to find out, which I don't know if you care about that sort of thing. I personally find it fascinating what actors play what movies, because it lets you know their diversity. Alrighty, well, there's 3 rows done. We still have 10 minutes. You think we can pull off one more row in 10 minutes? The next row is going to be a white. And we ended on a white. So why is that one white? White, RGB. Okay, it's correct. I'm not going to question it. And that means RGB next. Maybe I'll remember them this time. So we're on RGB. The next one would be white. RGB. I am actually starting to kind of rush a little bit, and I apologize, but I want to get this row done before the 1 hour mark. Kind of as a personal challenge. Then I can say bonus points to the ones I got after an hour, right? Or rather, after this row, if it hasn't been an hour. RGB. For those of you who do not know and are interested, I am in fact ambidextrous. It comes in handy. See what I did there? Handy. I'll see myself out. Now, those all get out of the wrong hole. Oh, no. There we go. I'm digging that. I'm digging that so much. I can't wait to see this thing lit. And there's a lot of other people actually feeling the same way. They're like, stop teasing. Hurry up. Hurry up. You done talked about this crap now for like a week. And I'm like, well, it's taking 60 freaking hours. And then this adds another hour. This is 61 hours now. So it's a bit lengthy. And the next one is it's RGB next. So RGB next. And that will be just fine. We shall do that this way. RGB. White. This jig has been a freaking, so amazing. I would not want to do this by hand. Oh mercy. Oh mercy. Look, I'm a little bit of a sadist. I am not that big of a sadist. No. Oh, Mouse, if you have seen this little section, great job. Like, not just good job, great job on those supercomputers, because this is probably equivalent to making one of those, I'm sure. In some way, it's got to be. I mean, it's not going to be as tedious as surface mount by any stretch. I know surface mount is quite difficult. Now I'm saying that for me though, because my hands shake really bad. I've tried everything. I've tried quitting coffee. That didn't work. I even quit smoking. I don't vape. I don't know. I just shake. Maybe I've got mild Parkinson's. I mean, I'm okay with that. We haven't even reached the 10-minute mark, and I might accidentally finish this second row if I can keep on track. And yes, there will be video on the final product before I ship it off, because this isn't going to be staying, I don't think. I'm going to have to get in touch with them. I haven't actually asked them if they wanted it for their birthday. I mean, I'm making it for their birthday, but you know, whenever you ship stuff to other YouTubers and other makers, it's really best to ask if they want it before you make the assumption to just send it off. And I have not made the assumption to send it off yet, but I am hoping that it will be appreciated. If not, I will put it on my shelf and it can be admired on my shelf. Right? Perfectly fine with that. I'm mainly just interested at this point in getting it completed and working, because I don't know how long it's going to take. So I can't give you any promises. That's why I said I'm just going to stream an hour of this project, and you can listen. I've been feeling kind of facetious and being a goof on Facebook. I was like, hey, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe, you know. And I'm not going to advertise on my page. I mean, you're already watching it if you made it this far. But if you know me on Facebook and you're watching this video from Facebook, it is literally just for a humor, like for a joke, because I hear it so much when I'm watching other people's videos. I'm like, bro, if I like your stuff, I will hit that subscribe button. If I like that stuff a lot, I will hit that subscribe button. If I like it and really want to come back to it, I'll hit the subscribe button. And I subscribe to quite a few people. Probably 300 or 400 people I follow. And I love watching all of them. If you're a maker and you want to share your projects with me and me see them, share what you've done that you're proud of, by all means, leave it in the description or leave it in the comment section. I will watch it. I usually watch a lot of things people send me. I don't watch everything people send me, but if I can't watch it, I will tell them so. Like, look, I can't watch that right now. I'm working. I apologize. I will get at it when I can. People understand, you know. So we have finished this row and now have to go back on the previous row for one thing. It's because I did not go all the way to the bottom. I forgot to put the last white one on the bottom. We should be nearing 1 hour by now. Let me glance over. Sure are. So I'm going to call that a finished video. And we'll just kind of take a glance. I'll show you. I've got 2 more rows left. The next row is a RGB row, and that will be like this. And then the next one's a white. And as soon as we hit 1 hour, which should be here in the next 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half, this stream will come to an end. If you have not caught what has happened to this point, hey, I just noticed somebody is in the chat. So much, yes, it is. It is a lot. Oh, mercy. But we are getting there one step at the time, and I'm really pleased with how it's coming. I'm sitting here looking at it like I might go for the gold and maybe go buy me some glycerin and heat it up, make some smoke around it or something. Make it flashy. I'm just going to use up the last of these LEDs. Whatever will finish the pattern. I mean, I'm running really low I've got one more RGB that's already tested to be functional. So this is the last RGB, which means I can do one more white one. Should we finish the row? I can finish the row because, oh, I got that on the outside. We can finish the row because it needs a white one. That was, who would have guessed that we would have had exactly enough LEDs already sorted out on the breadboard, just enough to finish all but one row. There's one row left. And we have, this one's going to need, okay, so this is going to be the weird row. Yeah, this is the weird row. So we'll start on a white so that I know it's the weird row. And I say weird because that particular ring is not even. And so there's not an even number of alternate colors. Let's get us a few more of these RGB LEDs. We only need a few. So let's put us a few on the breadboard and see if they work so we can continue on. Because once I finish these, the next step is going to be to solder them. I'm going to do all of that off camera and stuff, so at a later time, or I may time lapse it. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. Oh, it would help if I had that on the right. Wow. All right. Those four work. So the next one is an RGB. Let's take that, and we're slightly over an hour, but that's all right. We finished all the rows. That's what matters, right? The full rows. The smaller rows in between are not something I'm overly worried about, because if I don't solder these big rows in first, there'll be too many leads in the way, and that's just no bueno. Oh, dude, that's so perfect. I love it. Just every time I hear that little click, it pops in place. A little satisfactory final, like, I don't know if you could hear that or not. I hope so. Looks like I ran into a spider's web in Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Dome. Not necessarily the most tedious project that's ever been done, I don't imagine. Imagine the first person who ever did SMDs on a motherboard without a machine. That had to have been way worse. Oh. Now we need some white ones to finish the job. We need one white one. Let's make sure it flashes real quick. Cool. It flashes. Blinky, blinky. And put a little dab. Put a little stick. Oh, wow. Satisfactory. That click. Put a little dab. And I'm talking about, when I say a little dab, I had this stick. You couldn't even see the back of the stick when I started, and you still can't even, it's still, I'm talking minimalist. Unplug it now, though. So now this is the part I'm not going to do right now. I will come back to this. I need to take a break. I did screw up and have to redo a few LEDs. But from the top side, here's what we have. Damn, I can't even see that comment from here. Let me get up and take a look. Hold up. Oh Lord. Yeah, that sounds tedious. That is very, very tiny. Oh Lord. 0.1 millimeter. That's like right there, isn't it? It's like if I pulled one of my hairs off and measured it. But yeah, this is officially. Remember, I said it would fit a golf ball. If I had a freaking golf ball, I could show you what I mean by I calculated this and I called this out in chat that I calculated it to fit a golf ball. All right. I don't have a golf ball, but if you can envision, that's a golf ball. It fits like a glove, like a glove, like a glove. I'm talking about calculated down to the size, bro. I had to calculate the shit out of this thing. And if you look, it's a perfectly like spherical, spheroid shape in the middle. And I don't even have a golf ball to stick in there to test it, but it's golf ball size. Dang, I don't have a golf ball in here. That would be so perfect. Just to put a golf ball in there and go, yeah, buddy. And it's, the ones in between are going to be the same distance. Dang it. Oh, I wish I had a golf ball. That's going to look so cool, though. Can you envision it? Row your boat gently down the resistors. Merrily, merrily, merrily. I'm excited because I can already see the populated city of the hemisphere. Dang it. Oh, I wished I would have taken bets on whether a golf ball would fit and then got a golf ball to stick in there at the end of the job. Yeah, that sounds really tasty. I would love to calculate a ribeye into my stomach right now after all of this. But I think I've done about all of the work. I mean, this is the scrap. There you go. There's a golf ball. Anyway, so this is a scrap for the top dome. And then for the bottom dome, that was this one. These are just extras. For some reason, it put pillars. It didn't need to because this is a dome, so it just ever so gently moved up. It did need these two columns, though, because it was a 90-degree shear. And, if you look, once you reach this point, it like that support material was needed here. But yeah, I don't know. I really wish that I didn't have to have the support material, but it does look really shiny and nice. I'm really glad it turned out, like this. And I'm excited to solder it all together and power it up, which I may do that on Discord later, but I don't want to be on live anymore. I did that strictly so I could record how this is being done. And again, you'll note there is one weird LED here, which will then be put a white and then an RGB to fix it. But it's only this spot. This one ring is weird. And I did that so that it's intentional because this one has a weird ring as well. And it's so that when I stick this together, it lines up. And it looks a little, it may have warped a little bit. No, it didn't. It didn't warp. Never mind. But anyway, so these go together like that. And that weird LED, the double white, acts as a marker. so that it lines up in, is that the weird LED? Yes, cool. All right, so there's the lineup right there. So it goes from the weird LED down this line all the way down to here. And I actually took out the ring. That there was a ring here, and before printing it, oh, that's not the bottom. Never mind. These bottom ones were so close together, it wouldn't have structurally held together. It would have broken. So yeah, there's that. And the next step, oh dang, I guess, do I still have some hot glue available? Yes, I do. Cool. We'll put a little dab there and a little dab there, because the next step, I've marked these holes, and let me put a little more super duper hot glooper right here in the middle. I don't want this to be like aiming down at the board. There we go. There. And I did it this way so it wouldn't warp it. Put it on here first, let that hot glue cool down. There we go. Now that will sit on there like this. Oops. There's a seam. I don't know if you can see the seam. It's right here. Ah, there we go. My hands are so tired. Oh my Jesus. Crunch, crunch, crunch. There we go. What's weird is how hard that is to get on whenever you've been messing with stuff all day. And then the weird LED lines up here on the back, like so. And now we have a complete globe. So I will catch you guys the next time I do the live stream, or if you're in Discord, I might see you in Discord. So you all have a good one. Ta-da.